Nobody tells the Wolverine what he can and can't do. Bub. Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm taking a look at the Kaiyodo Amazing Yamaguchi Wolverine. Now I know I was whole hog into this line. I love the Spider-Man, I love the Deadpool, but when it got to Venom, it kind of done me wrong. And I understand mine probably had more QC issues than other people's. That's usually just my luck. But it really soured me on the line, so much so that I never even opened Spider-Gwen. I didn't cancel her because I thought, she should be cool. I don't know, I just could not bring myself to open it. But coming around to here, this is Wolverine, baby. I had to get it. Looking at the package, it's the standard craziness that we're used to in this line at this point. Just graphics thrown all over it. But still keeping this big window. You see everything that you get with the figure. There may be stuff hidden back in there, but the main meat and potatoes is right out on display. On the side, pretty promotional picture, some background stuff. Get to the back and they just fill up every little centimeter of the back with something. Got promotional shots, word balloons, the option parts down here. Have the warnings, the unreadables, probably says something like claws are not actually made out of adamantium, and sorry about the cigar. Come around to the side, we're used to seeing that old school fight poster type look over here. On the top, another graphic, logos. On the bottom, yet another picture, some more unreadables, some lottery numbers. But I'm going to get this open and see if this is the redeeming figure in the line and if I need to go back and open Spider-Gwen. Getting the package open, the insert, like previous releases, there's some nice graphics in here, some nice artwork. Good grief, did we need that much plastic between the joints? I guess there's worse things to gripe about than having to disassemble your figure to get the plastic protection out of it. Because I do appreciate them going the extra mile to protect the joints. I didn't even get all of it. There's more right there. But, oh, there is a lot of it. Like right here, I didn't even know that was still in there. And there we go, all out of the package. And I feel like my personal honeymoon with the Revoltech Marvel line may be over, but I do have to say this figure has redeemed the line in my eyes a bit. Now taking a look at the sculpt, yes, it is very stylized, and that's what the line is about. That's not the only fence that keep people on either one side or the other, but it's one of those fences. It's broad, it's bulky, it's muscular, it's oddly proportioned, but again, supposed to be that way. But at the same time, very, very Wolverine. It's short, it's stocky, it's mean, it's lean in places, but overly huge in all the other right places. It's hard to explain. Yeah, it looks wonky as shit, but it looks great for Wolverine specifically. And looking at this, yes, vanilla pose, Revoltech isn't really meant to be that way. It looks odd when just standing straight up and down. These things were meant to pose. Moving to paint, not a lot of shade work here. It's pretty much the base colors, but the flat yellow, the metallic blue, and then there's a lighter, duller blue-gray hinting around in places, kind of offsetting all that. And then the skin tone itself, a very nice job on casting this in a believable skin tone. It's very flesh-like without a lot of paint detail on it. I would have liked to have seen some hair here or some darker parts to make it look like it should have hair there, but for the most part, not bad. And then up to the head, it continues that stylized look, but it's a little bit toned back. I would have expected them to go bigger with the mask horns, ears, whatever they call it. But they kept it toned down. They didn't go crazy with that. Now, besides the wonky proportions, most people that do not like the line do not like it because of the joints. They're very apparent. They stick out. There's gaps. A lot of people just focus on the joints, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not their cup of tea. It's not your cup of tea. If you're watching this and going, that figure looks like crap, if you're doing that, then yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's going to be a lot of Wolverines to pick from, so this is just one of them. If you're into this style, though, Wolverine is a great addition to the line. Now, they still have the floating ab piece that when you get too far, it either opens up or it likes to turn or break in half. Break was the wrong term to use there. I just pulled too hard. The joint came loose. Nothing wrong with that. The belt floats, which is good because when you get too cranked over or up or around, you can take the belt, slide it around, hide the gap. I feel like with Revoltech, that's what you're doing most of the time. You're getting these kick-ass poses, but you're trying to hide the gaps at the same time. So it's a chore to get into poses. One thing I really, really like about this release, though, are the shoulder pads. I know that's part of Wolverine's design. They're meant to be there, but they do a great job of hiding what I feel like is one of the most apparent joints on the figure. And that's that double dumbbell swivel joint that's in the shoulder. On Spider-Man, on Deadpool, and even Venom, when you got it extended out, there's a huge gap right there. With Wolverine, you have that gap there. When it's fully extended, you can swivel the shoulder pad in and hide it. I feel like out of all of them so far, Wolverine is best suited for the Revoltech treatment. Now going over articulation, there's a Revoltech joint in the neck at the top going into the head. Then there's the same joint down at the bottom of the neck, or the shoulder neck assembly behind the pecs inside the shoulder joints. But you get forward, you get back, you look up, tilt all the way over to there, tilt all the way over to there. You just get a huge range of movement here. You get a swivel joint at the shoulder or the side of the torso, whatever you want to call it, but you can come forward with that. You can go back. We talked about the shoulder being a crazy swivel on both sides, two ball joints. I have had a problem of when I try to turn here, the ball joint on both sides actually splits right down the middle. Of course, it's not going to do it to me now, but you can see it trying to split right there. It comes apart, it pops back together, not a huge deal, and it does come with extras for those. So if it does break on you, at least they gave you the means to fix it. Like I said, the shoulder pad, it's on one pin in the back, nothing in the front, so you can bring it down, you can put it up. Revoltech joint in the elbow, but it looks like it's going down to a ball joint in the forearm. But you can almost come all the way up with it. You get swivel there. When you're coming back down straight, the elbow on both pieces likes to knock together, so you got to kind of shift back and then come up. I don't know why I have his left arm all up like that. Revoltech in the wrist, up, down. You can rotate that around to go side to side, and then there's swivel. Abs are on that same kind of joint, forward nicely, back, kind of arcs back. You can rotate it to go side to side, but you got to kind of work at it to get it to go over that way. Ball joint coming out to the hips, you can get forward, you can get back, you can get out. I think there's some extra stuff in there, but you can't really see it. There's a swivel at the thigh. It's not a straight cut. It kind of follows the musculature around, but you can swivel, you can swivel. Single knee comes up to about right there, but there's also a ball joint in there, so you can kind of swivel in and out. That's really weird. I don't remember the others doing that. They may. It's been a while, but nifty. I was going to say there's a swivel at the boot, but there's also a hinge. So it looks like there's a Revoltech joint down there too, below the knee. So coming back, you can bring the leg back even further. Revoltech at the ankle goes back, goes forward. There's a forward facing pin out of that joint for rocker ankle action. And then there's a toe joint, pops about right there. For accessories, Wolverine comes with several sets of hands. He comes with 2 fists. He comes with 2 open, just splayed out hands. He comes with 2 trigger finger hands for some reason. And then he comes with this hand that holds some mysterious object that doesn't come with this figure. Switching out the hands, no problem. It kind of slides off. There's some bumpies on there. You put the other hand on. You gotta make sure it's on there. Push a little harder. And then he comes with a set of claws. And then he comes with claws for both hands. This is a piece that has a pin on it. You just stick it on, well, a couple of sets of the hands. These are very stylized. I like the silver color to them. It fits the overall aesthetic of the figure perfectly. And those work on both the splayed open hands. It has the hole in the back. And then the fists, you just pop off the claw cover pieces. It has a pin underneath. Take the claw piece, just pop it into the back, and it just looks so great. Now to go along with those claws, he comes with I'm going to call it the Berserker Barrage piece. It's kind of a translucent piece. It's supposed to represent the slash going through the air or going through a body, and it works out great. I don't see myself using this a lot, but it's a nice little addition. And this fits in the back holes of all the other Revoltech figures. If you have him slashing in front of them, it just plugs into the back. It looks like it's a slash going through the body. Or it comes with this white Revoltech piece that you can plug into here and plug into the back, so you can have it going side to side or just wherever you want to put it. Now, speaking of the hand that holds the mysterious object, that's the cigar that was taken away sometime during the production process. The original proto-pics had it in it, and then I guess maybe Marvel or Disney came along, or some kind of local government came along and said, can't do that with a toy, even though this is a high dollar import toy. But it's easy enough to chop a toothpick up, throw some brown paint on it, a little black on the end, a little silver on that, and it looks pretty good. This took me about 2 minutes. I just wanted to have something to put in his hand to make use of what is now a pretty useless hand. Not as useless as the trigger finger hands, I guess. I don't know what go in those. And then Wolverine comes with 3 heads. In the package, he comes with just the, well, it's still mean looking, but the neutral face. He comes with kind of a snarling face. One of the eyes is closed a little bit more than the other. He's got his teeth gritted. This works for, well, the disappearing cigar, or it works as him just growling at somebody. And then he comes with the open mouth yelling berserker head, I guess you could call it. And I don't usually dig these, but here for Wolverine, I think I like it more than the other two, just because of who the character is, and the fact that it's Revoltech, you're going to have it in an action pose a lot. For comparison, here he is with the Revoltech Deadpool. A great size here. Wolverine's supposed to be short, stumpy. It works within the line. If you want to use it in your Marvel Legends line, here he is with the Marvel Legends Black Panther. He's shorter, he's stouter, he's thicker. And for giggles, here he is with the Marvel Legends Wolverine with the Casting Cave unmasked head. The Marvel Legends comes out a little bit smaller, but it still works if you don't mind Wolverine being in that just hyper stylized look. So at the end of the day, like I said previously, this redeems the line for me. It made me want to go back and pose Deadpool around a little bit more, get some use out of the figures. It took away the bad taste that Venom left in my mouth. That sounds weird. It's a little pinheaded. It's a little bit thick in places, but again, that's the style they were after. That's what they're going for. That's Revoltech. That's Kaiyodo. That's what you should expect at this point. Wolverine looks great. It's gonna stand out on my Revoltech shelf while fitting in with all the rest of them. You can't ask for more than that. At least they're keeping the aesthetic consistent throughout the line. Wolverine's good enough to make me want to go back and open up Spider-Gwen when I find some time for that. Because these take a lot of time. You can't just throw it in a pose, throw it on the shelf, you're done. You have to really work at it. You have to think about it. You have to plan ahead. And I'll admit, some of these pictures, a little bit frustrating, but the end product, totally worth it. But like I always say, this line is not for everybody. Yeah, the pictures may look kick-ass, but you may focus on the joints. You may focus on the gaps. Like I said, nothing wrong with that, because other companies have other Wolverines. At this point, everyone's producing, how am I going to say this? Wolverines to the best of their ability to fit in with the lines they are producing. So whatever tickles your fancy, there's probably a choice out there for you. It may be Hasbro, it may be Mezco, it may be somebody else. But within the confines of the Revoltech line, excellent addition here. Great Wolverine. I'm surprised they haven't been kicking out variations on figures that they've already done. We've seen a second run on a couple of the figures, but not completely different versions of the same sculpt. By now I kind of expected to see a gray Deadpool or a blue Deadpool or a different version of Spider-Man, but they don't seem interested in that. They're just moving forward. We have Magneto coming. We have Captain America coming. They're just chugging along. I'm not completely enamored with this. I'm still looking forward to other versions from different companies, but I'm still kind of on the Revoltech train. But we're back on the train, I guess you could say. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.